Once Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got really popular, there were a lot of copycat shows that would do similar ideas with different animals, but some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle knockoff toys would actually do the same thing. And here's one of the probably best known examples, the Ninja Hero Rider. Alright, here we have the Ninja Hero Rider, or as is known in the UK, the Hero Rider. This is one of the more well-known Ninja Turtles knockoffs, as it frequents knockoff toys lists. These were also knockoffy toys that played it way more safe than a lot of them, as they changed the turtles into frogs. But you can see that the text on the Ninja Hero Rider logo is very much based on the 87 Turtles text. This does have a company logo on it, which is DA, and yeah, that doesn't exactly help me too much find anything else that they made, though I do have a couple other figures that are related to this one. They also have those Galaxy Hero-ish bullet points about articulation and things that the figure comes with on here. I love this artwork too. It's just kind of amazing to see two frogs with swords running through lily pads on horses. The Ninja Hero Rider was made in Taiwan and seems to have mostly been distributed around the US, as that's where I got mine from and have seen most of them being sold from. Now, while the frogged Ninja Turtle is pretty great, it's kinda hard to beat that green horse. They didn't let us know about that on the box. One thing they do show on the box, which I've never seen any evidence of existing, is a yellow frog. One thing that does exist for sure is the far less interesting yellow horse version of the Ninja Hero Rider, as I've seen that quite frequently. They also have one of those things where they usually mark it in pen whether this is the yellow or green version, but apparently that was too much work for them here. Unfortunately, the picture's a little scratched up here, but you can see with some of the promo pics they took for the toys, there's a couple variants that I don't know if were ever actually mass-produced. On a couple of the pictures here, the Ninja Hero Rider has red arm and knee pads, but any of the ones that I've actually seen have always been the Donatello-ish version with purple. They also showed a version with blue chest armor which had yellow arm and knee pads. I have seen that a version of the blue armor and trunks one has gotten released, though with a little less blue paint, and once again it's got the purple Donatello arm and knee pads instead of the yellow. This figure is also shown on a different version of the green horse, which actually had a green mane and tail to match it. But any of the ones that I've actually seen released always have a blonde mane and tail. But who cares what color mane it has, right? It's a green horse! And our rather bow-legged Ninja Hero Rider frog doesn't particularly like to stand up on his own. Weird, I thought this stance would be perfect. And even though he's a frog, they still gave him a shell of sorts with a lily pad stuck to his back. And as I mentioned, this is kind of Frogatello, as instead of headbands, they just gave these guys colored eye patches, and this guy's decked out in purple. Maybe his left eye just burst right out. This guy looks like he's seen some shit in his day. Also, it looks a little bit like blood is kind of spilling out of his mouth due to the imperfect painting of the red inside there. Really, the parts of this guy that feel the most Ninja Turtle knockoffy are his arms and legs, which, yeah, no doubt have some clear inspiration from the Ninja Turtles figures. There seems to be a little bit of Masters of the Universe influence on this guy as well, especially when it comes to those furry trunks he's wearing. Some of his gear feels a little Mexican-inspired as well, with the chest stuff and kind of like with the lily pad hanging off the back like a sombrero. Now, I've got to take issue with some of these fully posable ninja bullet points they gave me, as some of them are flat out untrue. Bendable elbows? No, there's no articulation at the elbows at all. Knees? Again, there is absolutely no articulation at the knees. Wrists? Nope. And the ankles, which they have pads molded into the leg here, but they didn't bother to paint, so yeah, big shock. But they also don't have the articulation point there either. The Ninja Hero Rider doesn't even have articulation points at the legs, which is one of the things that really feels missing on him. One point of articulation he does have that I wouldn't really expect is his lily pad on his back can spin around. Besides that, he's just got very basic peg joint arms and his head can turn. Besides the horse, the Ninja Hero Rider also comes with 3 weapons, which are all connected via a little weapons tree like the original Ninja Turtles figures from Playmates. So they get the long curved sword, a shorter one, and a dumbbell? I suppose that's supposed to be a set of nunchucks, but that's awfully short. Now, you're never supposed to break these apart, so here's how he's supposed to hold them. Pretty cool looking, right? And that looks like his cock. I don't even know how you're supposed to properly get him to hold the nunchuck weapon because his hands are so stiff, there's like no give to open them up. The only way to get him to hold it really would be by the middle piece, which isn't exactly right looking. Kind of looks more like a baton if he's holding it like that. You can get him to at least hold his sword decently in the right hand. The left hand is another story because, once again, these are so stiff you can barely get anything in there. I don't even know if I can get something in his left hand. They're so stiff. Go in there. There. Perfect. Whatever. Alright, now back to our permed hair green horse. Seriously, I love its little Goldilocks. The horse is bizarre because of the colors, but it's a fairly decent looking horse toy for the most part. Its harness and reins here are all made from a rubbery material, which would have been nice on a few other parts of this toy. I think one of the worst aspects of the horse really is its eyes just being kind of lazy sticker decals. Also, when you look at it straight on, its speakers, I think, are a bit awkward looking. Also, there's a little splitting going on at the seam, and you can see the 2 pieces of the head weren't exactly perfectly put together. There's no saddle with the horse. Ninja Hero Rider is apparently all about doing this bareback. And the horse just has a peg on its back to stick the Ninja Hero Rider in. Come on, why wasn't the peg on the Ninja Hero Rider? It wouldn't look like a dick at all. To be honest though, you barely even need the peg to stick him on because his legs are so tight, it'd be hard to get him off here anyway. In fact, it's rather hard to get him into the peg. That's about as far as I can get him down on that. Well, at least the reins are something I can get the bastard to hold in his left hand, but even still, that was kind of annoying to fit in there. However, it is all worth it in the end to see Pirate Ninja Frogatello riding a green horse. A green horse which, like with all good horses, have wheels under their hooves. These are there, of course, for the battery function with this thing, so let's stick 4 double A's in there and see if this thing wants to still work. Whoa! What? Okay, I guess I get why the horse is green now. Apparently it's like a frog horse. Its path is curved, so it just keeps trying to hop off the table on me too, which surprised me a bit. But, it works. There's that. It doesn't make any noise though, so what the fuck is that shit? It's a mix for the quality here. The Ninja Hero Rider isn't that shoddily put together or anything, but there are a lot of points that could use improvement. They were apparently at one point planning a figure with much better articulation than what they delivered, or they just slapped a bunch of lies onto the box. It does have a decent paint job, however there are little holes starting to form in the torso. The overly stiff plastic is quite irritating when it comes to getting him to hold things and actually sticking the frog rider onto his horse. However, this does mean he's not going to go flying off when you use the hoppy battery function, which is impressive that it still works on probably an almost 30-year-old toy. The biggest misstep is the rider's inability to stand or even have a decent pose when he's not riding the horse. Now, the horse itself looks pretty decent, though it is just one solid color, and they could have at least painted the eyes. The Ninja Hero Rider is a good amount taller than the original TMNT toys though, so you get more plastic. 5. They actually changed enough here that with just a few more tweaks, this would be less in the TMNT knockoff category and more like one of the copycat lines. They made them frogs with eye patches on a horse. Nothing about that is Ninja Turtles. But then they used a TMNT-ish font and had the familiar arm and knee pads and also two-toed feet. If you change those aspects about it and then just called the line Pirate Frog Warriors of the Old West, it'd be about the same as Biker Mice from Mars or Samurai Pizza Cats. 10. While a frog is probably the most obvious animal to switch over to if you're gonna change that for a Turtles knockoff toy, there is some other weirdness going on here, like him also being part pirate. Also having He-Man-ish trunks made out of leaves, and oh yeah, a green hopping horse! While there is the yellow one that pretty much does just straight up look like a Barbie horse, I've got to say, she's way more stylish riding off on this green monstrosity. 8. The artwork on the box is actually very nice, and it's a pretty amazing scene when you really examine it. I like too that we get to see some prototypes on the sides of the box, but it is a little disappointing that's just the exact same picture on the flip side of the box. Also, all those articulation lies aren't very nice. 8. Well, seeing as the Ninja Hero Rider is about twice as tall as the regular Ninja Turtles figures from the time, he doesn't fit in all that great, unless maybe you looked at him as a taller villain for them to take on, with an extremely large horse as well. But I'm sure he could work a bit better with some larger scale figures. 6. And the bootleg zones overall is 8! This is a classic Ninja Turtles knockoff, and one that thought a little outside the box. There's nothing quite like seeing a pirate frog ninja hopping around on a green horse.
Nightmare Freddy, I've begun to just feel sorry for myself because I'm so pathetic it's not funny anymore. Can you help me? Maybe. What exactly did you want me to do? Well, you're like a genie, right? You grant wishes and stuff? You know what? I'm gonna ignore how stupid what you just said was and give you a gift. I know you've gotten in trouble for fighting with Barbie over her horse in the past, so I'm gonna give you this weird green horse. What? I can't believe it! A horse! 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 I win! The day is finally mine! The Dark Knight rides again! Yes, you just enjoy that green horse, Bat Hero. I promise it doesn't belong to some weird ninja frog rider thing. I love loafers. Hey, Steffi! You're not allowed to be mean to me anymore because it's just pathetic and not funny. I mean, I'm the man on the horse now.
Oh! What?
Yeah, that's right. So I guess things are gonna be pretty different around here. What the hell is that? Steal my horse, will ya? Well, guess what? Riders fight without honor! Why? Seriously, just why? Frog up murder! Looks like people aren't gonna have to deal with your pathetic ass anymore.
Oh, Bad Hero's been killed off? Cool!
Now to ride on and kill for reasons I haven't determined yet. I'm a pirate.
What?
You want another chance at that horseback, bitch? Well, trusting you last time didn't go so well, but okay. Excellent, but your soul will belong to me. What? Just say yes. Yes. Damn you, Nightmare Buddy! I don't really feel like I got proper character development here in this segment, you know what I mean?
What?
You high, Missy?
Me?